If we want real protection, we have to let go of the lockdown mentality, and we have to think about this notion of what we're calling wired for security. Now, let me talk a little bit about how this works. As we look at what the digital natives are doing, they're creating a lot of complexity. And so our current security model on its own will not get the job done. We need something new. We need to rethink how do we secure the enterprise. More than just bigger and stronger protection, we need to stop being the people that say no and partner with our user communities. We need an entirely new layer of security, as connected and as mobile as your workforce, that allows us to maintain strong governance, compliance, and control without impeding good work. We need a layer of protection that is wired for social and wired for security. But it's one thing to say wired for social and wired for security. But the question is, how do we make it happen? How do we make it possible? I think we need to start by defining it. What we're going to need to do is deliver authentication, authorization, and auditing, but in a new way. This new layer of protection will have to have a very sharp focus on a few things. The first thing you're going to need is very flexible identity management. It'll have to be built on an expanded definition of identity, established through credentials, through device, through geo, and policy, as close to single sign-on as possible, with access control and user management across all cloud-based services, including your employees, your business partners, and your customers. It will need to handle all forms of sign-on that are being used every day. It will need to be able to deprovision users when they leave your organization, not just their accounts, but also remove the information that they were accessing. And it'll have to work with our existing identity management solutions. This new layer of protection requires a new kind of information security, an access control point, a new place to control where information leaves and comes into your enterprise. It'll be a software gateway that recognizes identity and has an understanding of every piece of information that goes in and out of your enterprise. And that's what's key here. We'll need a new notion of the old firewall. We need a reverse firewall to keep critical information in. It has to be able to watch the outbound flow of data. And that means this notion of bring your own device isn't really about the device. It's about how do you organize and categorize information. It has to watch outbound flow of traffic, and it needs to look at it file by file. With more than just a binary yes or no control, it'll need to be content aware, it'll need to be intuitive and policy-based, with the ability to block when necessary, but also to encrypt without getting in the way of what your users are trying to do. And this new approach will also require complete auditing, full visibility into the flow of information between individuals in one company and another. It needs policy enforcement, clear definition of management, and it needs to work ubiquitously.